What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. I am Lolise and today we are talking about some serious internet BS that is happening. This stuff has pretty much engulfed most of YouTube and I'm actually seeing this pop up other places, not in YouTube, even in real life conversations. Well, not like real life conversations because they happen online, but they were with people that I know in real life. So we're going to be talking about Colleen Ballinger and Adam McIntyre and all of the mess surrounding all of that. So if that is something you're interested in, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get a notification every time I post. And please don't send anybody that we talk about in this video any hate, negativity, nothing like that. Enough of that has been spread around from this. If you have something to say about what we were talking about, just shoot it down in the comments below. That's what they are there for. So I took last week off mostly just because I had so much going on with like projects that I had to do and just I was going through it a little bit in my own head, but I was watching all of this unfold. I've watched all of Adam's videos on the topic. I've watched several other people's videos on these topics, and I have seen some of Cody Rants' deleted videos. Rants? I don't know if that's how you would say that, but whatever. If you do not know the backstory to all of this, first of all, Colleen Ballinger is a creator here on YouTube, and she's on a lot of different social media. She's been on social media for a long time, I want to say well over a decade, and her big claim to fame initially was a character she created named Miranda Sings. Now, Miranda Sings, the character, is kind of, I guess, well, a problematic theater kid that grew up. I think that's kind of the gist of what the character is. Saying very off-the-wall things in a satirical manner that, I mean, some of this stuff can be offensive, and that's kind of been the brand of being, like, weird and quirky and slightly offensive, but being able to play it off as satire because the character of Miranda is, I would say, like, a little socially inept in a sense. And, you know, being able to play that off because the character of Miranda Sings is somewhat ignorant is kind of the gist. And this character, Miranda Sings, was created when that was what comedy was. It was very ignorant. This is the days of Shane Dawson making horrible jokes and doing blackface. And I'm pretty sure she was actually like friends and collabed with him at the time. So that all kind of speaks volumes. And then we have Adam McIntyre, who is currently a YouTube drama commentary channel. He talks about a lot of things. I think originally, like, he did vlogs and stuff. However, he was very big in the Colleen Ballinger fandom up until the year 2020. So in 2020, Adam McIntyre came out with a video towards Colleen Ballinger, and it was titled, "Colleen Ballinger, Stop Lying." Now in this video, Adam is 17 years old, so he is still a minor, and this video is about, it's about half an hour long, and he outlines kind of a little bit of what his relationship with Colleen was and the fact that she was lying about something that was affecting him. Now, more backstory, Colleen is somebody who is very engaged with her fans. Now, very, very engaged, which I think it is a great thing to engage with your fans. Now, it is a great thing to engage with your fans. However, the problem with Colleen engaging with a lot of her fans is most of her fans are underage. They are teenagers or sometimes younger. When Adam became a fan, it sounded like he was like 11 and then actually became very into the fandom and was even communicating with Colleen at the age of 13. Now, Colleen was a woman in her 30s. So immediately, red flag pings for me. Nobody in their late 20s, early 30s should be having personal friendships with somebody who's 13 years old. I know some people can say, well, I have a friend who is much older than me. My thing is that a 13-year-old and somebody who is pushing 30 are in two completely different places in life. And Adam highlights this because at 13, 14, 15, he's getting very in-depth details about Colleen Ballinger's very adult life. Adam talks about how at 13, he is hearing about Colleen Ballinger's divorce from her ex-husband, about some of the stuff that went on in their relationship, how terrible this guy was, which is very confusing for him because up until this point, before becoming friends with Colleen, he had seen her ex in her videos, in her vlogs, and thought nothing but good things about him. But then he's being fed all this negative stuff, and then also is being kind of pushed by Colleen to make public accusations and attack him and talk bad about him in gossip forums. And Adam, being a child and just being starstruck by Colleen, agrees to do all this and does do all of this. As time goes by, he slowly starts climbing the ranks of the Colleen Ballinger fandom and became her #1 international fan. One of the big problems was that Colleen and her friend Corey had group chats where all of these people were children and they were talking about some pretty gross stuff. Now, Colleen would come into these chats and she would ask girls just randomly, group chats where everybody is there, tell me your embarrassing period stories. Nobody wants to tell an embarrassing story, much less an embarrassing story about their period, much less somebody who is just starting to experience them. They definitely don't want to be sharing that, much less in a group chat where everybody can read it. And I mean, I would think Colleen would be trying to use that information for a video. I wouldn't want that blasted all over the internet. Not to mention, it's wildly inappropriate to go into a group chat of minors and start asking them about their menstruation. At a point, Adam did have a YouTube channel and he was going to be posting a Q&A. He asked people in the group chat for questions, and Colleen came in and the questions she had for him were, are you a virgin and what is your favorite sex position? Asking a teenager that, who I believe was 15 at the time, asking them what their favorite sexual position was and if they were a virgin. None of your business, Colleen, and that's disgusting to ask a teenager that. But the real crux of the end of their friendship was, over time, Colleen, well, her Miranda Sings character was dying, mostly because Colleen knew and acknowledged that Miranda Sings is a problematic character, and with how social climates have been changing, people do not want to hear offensive jokes at their own expense. So the character's been kind of dying. So where did she go to ideas? She turned to her fans, specifically Adam McIntyre, that claims in the 4 years leading up to 2020, he was basically Miranda Sings. He would give her the ideas for the videos, he would give her ideas for memes, for tweets, eventually leading up to in 2020, she actually gave him a password to her Twitter account to start making tweets. Now, he recommended a tweet and video idea of her coming out as a Meghan Trainor fan, which was supposed to be funny. I don't really understand. I mean, Meghan Trainor's not like my cup of tea, but whatever. But when this came out, this was seen as queer baiting by the LGBT community, which I totally get, because it is very hard for people to come out to their friends and loved ones, and to have somebody make light of it, of coming out as a Meghan Trainor fan, can be very demoralizing. Also, on that note, I forgot to say this at the beginning of the video, Happy Pride Month, everybody. So Adam made this tweet. Before this tweet was posted, he actually has shown in DMs for several videos that he sent this to her. She didn't get it at first. He explained it to her. She then loved it. She gave him permission to post it. At first, she loved it because some people did think it was funny. But as the backlash started rolling in, she started getting nervous, and then she actually removed his access from the Twitter. And in conversations, she at first was, understanding, but then slowly kind of shifted the blame to him a little bit, telling him that he can't post anything without her permission, that she had to delete the tweets, that she was very scared that she was going to get a lot of backlash because a lot of people are, so sensitive nowadays. This is all while he is a kid. He's 17 years old. He's still in high school. He's still trying to figure this stuff out. And he asked her permission. She gave her permission for it. So in the conversation, it's almost like she's trying to spin that she did not give him permission to do this, and this is his fault. Almost as like she was just trying to, save her ass. And then this is when she eventually removed his access, and then that, I think, was the last time they actually spoke. She then blocked him, and that was that. Or was it? Because what happened over the next 3 years was Adam was targeted with a lot of harassment, especially in the beginning. Now, being a 17-year-old and receiving threats, honestly, any age receiving like death threats and all the stuff that I'm sure he went through, that's not good for anybody's mental health, especially a child. Now, Adam really hasn't said much about this stuff since 2020, just because I think he just wants to move on. Adam is now 20 years old and has been moving on to doing all kinds of stuff on commentary. He talks about Shane Dawson, Trisha Paytas. He does sometimes talk about Colleen Ballinger and her crazy, gross, extended family. Like, I've heard some things about her brother that are just like nasty, like talking to 13-year-olds in very inappropriate manners. The unfortunate thing is that Miranda has given this man, her brother, access to talk to children in very inappropriate ways. Otherwise, though, it has been completely silent. Colleen, at a time, did post a video kind of backing up what she said about how she wasn't given permission and she felt really bad. And honestly, I just kind of glossed over Colleen's video because I really just didn't want to hear what she had to say. One of the big things she did say in this video was she realized how inappropriate it was that she sent Adam McIntyre lingerie. She had a live stream. Adam McIntyre was there. I think he was like 15 or maybe even younger. And she thought it was funny to send lingerie that she had gotten. And she justifies this in the video of like, I send people weird stuff all the time. I sent somebody a used napkin, which is hygienically disgusting. And she also said that in 2020. How about like in 2020, you just stop sending people stuff because like the pandemic was rampant and people were literally wiping down their grocery bags. You don't need to send people stuff. And as you can imagine, everybody now is like, wow, that's wildly inappropriate to send lingerie to a child. This specifically right here was what made me believe Adam in 2020. A lot of people did not want to believe what he was saying about Colleen, how she acted behind the scenes, and how he felt like she heavily manipulated him into saying and doing things online that he maybe wouldn't have done otherwise in terms of like targeting her ex-husband and things like that. So in 2020, Adam dropped his video, and then other than the harassment that he continued to receive throughout the majority of those 3 years, everything was kind of silent for the most part. Adam moved on to continue creating other content and to become what I would say kind of a large content creator. Like, I have known Adam for a while. I don't know Adam personally. We are Twitter friends and we have exchanged DMs like once, but it was not about anything meaningful. But a lot of other people denounced what Adam was saying, including larger YouTubers like specifically James Charles, which like the irony of that is just unbelievable. But then also people like Kendall Ray, who has since come forward and apologized for the stance she took 3 years ago. So that brings us to this year. Just a couple weeks ago, a content creator named Cody Rants actually posted a video about what she experienced behind the scenes during the Colleen Ballinger fandom and what she experienced in group chats and her targeted harassment of Adam McIntyre in that time. The interesting thing is that Cody admits to being in these group chats with Adam McIntyre, with other minors. One of these group chats was called the Weenies, and then another group chat with Corey, Colleen's friend, was called Corey's Clit with a K. Perfect place for kids to be hanging out with and chatting with each other, and adults, not to mention the fact that Cody was an adult herself. Now, Cody goes by she, her, they, them, so I will probably use those interchangeably. Now, Cody was an adult. Cody was in her mid to late 20s. Cody is now 30 years old. So Cody was also in these group chats with minors, having God knows what conversations with them, and was also talking to Colleen Ballinger. Cody paints this as she also was in a very deep parasocial relationship with Colleen, just like everybody in these group chats were. Now, it's not really a parasocial relationship, though, if you are actually conversing with this person and plotting with this person. That is no longer a parasocial relationship. Parasocial relationships are one-sided. You don't interact with the person on the other side of the screen. These are full-blown relationships. They aren't romantic relationships, but they are relationships. Let's get over the I was brainwashed by a parasocial relationship to do these things. Cody was a functioning adult. Now, Cody does say that she deals with mental issues and mental illness. Now, I am a big proponent of mental illness, and not proponent, like I don't want people to be mentally ill, but I do understand that a lot of people deal with a lot of mental illnesses that I could never comprehend. I deal with mental illness as well, and other people have a hard time comprehending that stuff. However, there are millions of mentally ill people out there that do not do the things that Cody did in these group chats, or the specific targeted harassment and planned takedown of Adam McIntyre. I will say, in one of Adam's recent videos, Adam talked about how they took him down a few years ago. They didn't take you down. They tried to take you down, Adam, but they did not take you down because because look where you are now. You have come out the other side. You are unfortunately much stronger because of this. And I don't want Adam to continue to blame himself for being a young, naive, idealistic, hopeful person and being trustworthy. The other thing about Cody in these group chats is Cody was writing a very graphic fanfic or something. And Cody decided to ask people in these group chats if they wanted to be in this fanfic and would include their names. Some of these characters would do horrible things or go through horrible things like SA, and Cody, as an adult, somebody who is over 25, thought it was acceptable to be using minors' names in these fanfics. And people, when they read this, were apparently very upset by this, which I am not surprised. Now, I only heard of Cody Rants. I've heard the name Cody Rants like thrown around here or there. I knew that they made commentary videos. They made a video about the James Charles eyeshadow palette and how it stained their eyelids, the pink pressed pigment did. That palette was just garbage. Let's just be honest. It was terrible. So recently, Cody came out with a video vindicating and validating everything that Adam McIntyre said in 2020, that the group chats were very toxic, that Colleen and Corey would manipulate people into targeting other people online. Some of the conversations, Cody even actually shared screenshots from conversations that Adam had not shared previously. So then Adam had to come forward and confirm that yes, that was him in those conversations. For example, him coming in and saying his butt looked great, and then Colleen just randomly dropping in and telling him to drop a picture. The thing is that Cody had this information for 3 years and chose to stay silent, not say anything. Adam confirms that a year ago he spoke with Cody and that they apologized to him and they had sort of made up. But even then, Cody did not share the information that they shared on their video with him. Initially, Cody was kind of portrayed as a hero in a sense. Adam even had her in a video and thanked them for coming forward and telling their story, which really was Adam's story, not Cody's story. Then Dustin Daly came forward and pretty much ripped Cody apart because he has had interactions with Cody. He is also working on a video about like a different group chat, which I think has like a lot more like YouTube commentators. But I think Cody got spooked and thought the video was going to include stuff with them, and actually removed their video and posted a horrendous live stream that I believe has been deleted. But if you want to see what it is, Adam actually does a whole reaction to the entire video. And in this video, she is breaking down because she's starting to get backlash. It's been about a week since she's come forward and she's having a hard time handling this, to which Adam and myself both kind of say, well, this is the stuff that you pretty much put on Adam for 3 years, and now you're just getting a taste of it and you're crumbling. I mean, if you can't stand the heat, you gotta stay out of the kitchen. In this, she said she's gonna deplatform herself, just like Jenna Marbles, and let's not compare ourselves to Jenna Marbles. Jenna Marbles took initiative, looked at her past behavior, realized it was bad, and it had no place on the internet, and she felt like she did not have a place on the internet because of it. She was making a mature, conscious decision. You were sobbing on a live stream, making rash decisions and asking if people wanted you to unalive yourself. This was like a 2-something hour live stream. Eventually, another content creator was able to call in, Xylee from Xylee Gets Real. Love Xylee. And Xylee, I'm sorry, the beginning though, Xylee got on and said, "Are you drunk? Well then what is this? What is this live stream? What are you wanting to accomplish? You need to end the live stream." In this live stream though, Cody did admit that pretty much the reason she put that video out was not to validate Adam and help him out from all this harassment to try and get it to stop. It was because she wanted to make money. She already had like the Colleen Ballinger fan base following her, like eyes on her, because she would make videos about Colleen, favorable videos. But she knew if she posted this video, she would get a ton of money and be able to buy a new computer, apparently. That is what was said in this live stream. Adam quickly turned face, and while Adam does appreciate that all of this information has been brought out by Cody, he cannot trust Cody because this was Cody's intentions. Cody's intentions were to get money out of this, not to actually help Adam. Adam has since lost all trust in Cody and really doesn't like Cody again. In fact, hated Cody a long time before this, felt better about Cody, but then when finding out Cody did this just for monetary value. I've said the name Cody so much, but Adam wants nothing to do with Cody anymore. This whole thing has blown up. Other people who were in this group chat have come forward, have corroborated things that Adam has talked about, things that Cody has brought forward. I don't know what's going on with Cody Rants anymore. I don't really know if I care too much. I just hope that they are seeking help for what they're going through right now. I think everybody should be in therapy. And on that note, Adam did say that he finally started therapy because of all of this, which I'm like, why didn't you start this like 3 years ago? Like, that would have been the main thing. You know, better late than never. The other thing about this is Adam has gotten an influx of harassment and hate again because all this coming back up. Colleen Ballinger fans, probably other just crazy people on the internet too. There have been doxing attempts of not just Adam, but his family, both where he used to live in Ireland, and I believe he now lives in England and Brighton. So they have been doxing all of that. People have been posting pictures on forums of him out and about walking his dog, sending him threatening messages like, I hope to see you walking your dog. And because of all of this, Adam called his local police department to let them know, hey, I am being the victim of targeted online harassment. If you get phone calls saying that I'm going to hurt myself, that there is a situation happening, that you need to send a SWAT team, just know that this is false. Please check in with me first. He didn't want to get swatted because people can lose their life from being swatted. And by the way, people can also be sent to jail for anything that happens during a swatting. But because of this also required Adam to make a police report about potential harassment and swatting. But that also meant that he had to explain the entire situation with Colleen and file a police report in his local area. Then he also had to make a second report into where the city he used to live, where his family lives. He had to explain the entire thing again, and he had to make another police report. So now there are at least two police reports out about Colleen Ballinger's behavior towards him as a minor, and at least one more police report in relation to targeted online harassment and doxing that he is receiving. Technically, at least in America, doxing isn't illegal unless it's done with malicious intent. And all of this is being done with malicious intent. So a lot has changed for Adam. Sadly, the legal route has been taken. And I say sadly because none of this should have been happening in the first place, but really it is the right thing to do to create a paper trail. Now you may ask, what has Colleen been saying about all of this that's been going on the past couple of weeks, that two people publicly are talking about how in danger they are because of this, Adam and Cody? Well, it has been radio silent from Colleen Ballinger publicly. In fact, Colleen is on tour right now with the Miranda Sings Canceled tour. Yes, you heard me. She is doing a tour called Canceled. This is where like the real life thing came into play, because a close friend of mine whose daughter is, I don't know, 14 maybe, they had actually won tickets to go see the Miranda Sings show and were going to go, but then it was brought to their attention that they are canceled, because my friend is actually really into TikTok, and I think she actually posted a couple TikToks about it. I'll double check. But to see somebody in my real life post on Facebook about this whole thing with Colleen Ballinger and about how they felt uncomfortable going to the show and how they thought, you know what, we're not going to go to this. That is huge. Out of all of the internet YouTube drama I have ever talked about, no one in real life ever knows what I'm talking about. My husband never knows. My family never knows. My friends don't know, because the stuff just pretty much stays online. This is reaching out far. I've seen news articles about this, and to have a friend of mine who doesn't even know that I am researching this stuff to say something about it on Facebook, kind of a big deal. Now, I know there are a lot of little things about this that I have missed, because I'm gonna be honest, I didn't write a script for this. I just wanted to sit down and talk about this because honestly, this is some of the most vile, disgusting behavior I've ever seen. A grown adult in their 30s in group chats with minors is probably some of the most vile stuff. Even if there's nothing sexual happening in this, the manipulation and coercion of minors who are very impressionable and vulnerable, they're going through so many changes, and to have her take advantage of that is disgusting. It also shows that Colleen, though a 30-something adult, seems to have the mentality of a teenager, and that is dangerous because then teenagers see her as their friend and she can coerce them into doing things that are really bad, things that are harmful. The other thing that really rubs me the wrong way about all of this is Colleen's complete disregard for the safety of other people. She did not care that she put Adam McIntyre's life in jeopardy multiple times. And you can say I may be blowing this out of proportion, but let's think about this for a minute. Adam has said in several videos in 2020, when all this initially went down, he was so depressed, he was being attacked and vilified from every direction in the internet. He was losing real life friends because of it. People were distancing themselves. He built his entire world in the Miranda Sings Colleen Ballinger universe. And that was all taken away from him and he was left as an empty shell. Adam has said many times that during that time, he had unaliving ideas. And knowing that mental health is a very debilitating thing and that teenagers specifically are dealing with it at much more alarming rates and teen suicides are a very big deal. Colleen had zero problem with orchestrating a potential takedown of a minor, knowing full well that that could put his life in jeopardy, not only at his own hands, but at the hands of a crazy fan of hers. She had zero care. What if something had happened to Adam? What if Adam had decided to go through with some of the thoughts that he was having? What if one of Colleen's fans did target him when he was going to school? Or what if one of Colleen's fans targets him now while he's walking his dog? She has zero care for his safety and his well-being, or if he is even alive or not. That also brings you to Cody, who, in a sense, like, I do feel bad for her a little bit because nobody deserves to have targeted harassment, even though she was holding on to this information for so long. It's still not right to be sending death threats over this kind of stuff. Now, it's obvious that she is in a much more fragile state than Adam. Adam seems to have grown a little bit of a thicker skin after going through this for many years, but really that shouldn't be the case in the first place. So the fact that Colleen will manipulate minors, will send them very inappropriate gifts, will have completely inappropriate conversations with somebody their age, and the fact that she has zero regard for the safety and well-being of these minors who essentially are kind of in her care. Like, I'm not saying that she is responsible for everything that they do, but she is responsible for the targeted harassment that was focused on Adam specifically. There are screenshots. Cody has confirmed this, that she had conversations with Colleen about making a video to take Adam down, and she posted that and he got a lot of harassment at the time from it. Cody also had zero regard for Adam's safety or well-being, so two grown adults literally didn't care if a minor lived or died because of what their actions were doing. So in my opinion, Colleen is a trash person. She needs to grow up. She needs to get some help. She also needs to address the situation. I have a feeling she's not addressing this situation for, well, one reason in particular, but then there's another interesting thing I wanted to add into. I wonder if Colleen is not saying anything yet because she's probably talking to her lawyers about what she can say. And they're probably drafting up something and then she's scripting a whole video so she can sit down and make it. And then the other reason I think she might be taking her time on this, besides also being on tour, is, well, this is a little bit of gossip, really. So I get Demois emails sent to me and I read the blind items and stuff. And this blind item was very interesting. So the subject of this blind item was YouTuber getting canceled and divorced again. Message: this female YouTuber who is getting canceled for false and exaggerated accusations of her grooming hasn't made an apology video, not because she does not have evidence to defend herself, but because she is busy with divorce papers her husband has filed recently and arranging a custody agreement for their 3 children. Now, blind items don't say who they're actually about, but Colleen does have 3 children. Now, I will say grooming, though it sounds very harsh, it is the right word for this. She wasn't manipulating children sexually, but she was manipulating them financially in a sense. She was literally having Adam do unpaid work. I didn't mention that when he was giving her all the ideas and stuff when they were still friends, but he would give her lots of work and she didn't pay him. She called him an intern and said that it could turn into an hourly paid job. So not only does she not care care about the health and safety of children, but she's also all about like unpaid labor of minors. Anyway, that is it for today's video. Like I said, I know I've probably left quite a bit of random things out, and as I edit, I will probably be like, oh, I can't believe I forgot that, but I just wanted to get a video out on my opinions of this. I have always believed what Adam has said about Colleen. I can just kind of tell that she is a fake nice person. I am very curious to see if she will be making any sort of statement sometime soon, but I guess we'll find out. Anyway, that is it for today's video. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you in my next video. Laters. Bye.